Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and it's time again for the hashtag 50 Stack Challenge 2, second challenge. If you're not familiar with this challenge, it is a weekly prompt assignment challenge. Each week I draw one prompt out of a bag. On that prompt little piece of paper, there's actually two prompts, and they're opposites. So for example, the first week for number 1 was winter and number 2 was summer. So that's what I drew. You can see on the back, there's the little number 1 winter, number 2 summer. And that's how I draw them. So every Monday I will draw a prompt that will have the opposites on it. And you just make one piece of ephemera for each prompt. And it doesn't have to be like this one. I did corrugated cardboard toppers for journals. You don't have to do corrugated cardboard. You can pick anything you want. The only rule in this whole challenge is to make one piece of ephemera using one of the prompts and one piece of ephemera using the second prompt. And you can use anything you want with the prompt. You don't have to do the whole thing wintry. You could just choose something that represents winter if you want to do it that way, and use whatever you want. But like you can see on here, I've used paint, and I've used a doily and some numbers and some packaging down here, and all that. You can use anything you want to get the effect that you're looking for. Okay, so winter, summer, then we had young and old, and I did these 2 large tags. And you don't have to do tags that same week. You could do guest checks or an envelope or just a collage. You could do these just as collages if that's what you want. The idea was to build our stash of ephemera, but you do what you feel like doing. Okay, then the next week was fast and slow. So I have a rabbit is fast, a turtle is slow. And these are just journaling cards. So just a totally different piece of ephemera. But you might have chosen this week to make some other kind of ephemera, a booklet or whatever. Okay, and then number 7 was moon and 8 was sun. So for moon, I chose to use tarot cards. Put a tarot card on the front, made it a little booklet, and there's a couple of tarot cards in there too. This one also has a moon. And then for sun, I chose a different tarot card with a sun, and I'm not sure if that was supposed to be moon or sun, but anyway, doesn't matter. The main prompt is there. Okay, so that is moon and sun. Then 9 and 10 were, number 9 was funny, so I did this little, what were these? I can't even remember. Oh, it's like a little flip. There's a pocket back here made from an envelope, and then on the front is almost like a journaling card, but it's hooked together, so it makes kind of like a little booklet. But funny, I chose the lady sewing a patch on a man's pants. And then for serious, I just chose a nice vintage wedding image, but I made the same type of ephemera. Okay. And then we have the next week. And the reason I'm going through all these right now is because I've had questions. So I'm hoping to catch some people up. And then that way we can just keep moving along. So 11 was sit. So I have a lady sitting on some exercise equipment, old Victorian style. And stand. So sit and stand. Sit, stand. And these were just two different bingo card pockets. Just 2 different styles. But you choose what you want to make, and that's fine. And then we had soft and rough. Number 13 was soft. Number 14 was rough. So I did a soft heart and then a sandpaper rough heart. Okay, so soft, rough. And these are just envelopes that I turned into pockets. But you make what you want. Okay, and then last week we had number 15 was land. So this gentleman is working the land, farming, and these are journaling cards. On the back there's a little pocket, and this lady's also on land, and there's just a spot for a tag. And then water, I chose this old, these are book page images. Water, you can see the ocean with a boat. And on the back of this one, the pocket goes this way, and it just has a few little pieces of ephemera in there. Okay, so land and water was last week's 15 and 16. But you may, if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to try to catch up on all those weeks, you can jump in right now and just start with this week's and not, I mean, it makes no difference to me. It's just a way to build ephemera, and it's supposed to be fun. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, I didn't get all those done. It's no big deal. Just, you can either catch up if you want, or you can just jump in now and go right from now. Okay, so we had 15 and 16. So this is going to be number 17. My pen's dying. Is few. So something that represents just a few. And number 18 is many. So something that represents many things. So for example, you could say a few cats is like 2 cats. You could have 2 cats on one journaling card, and then on another have a whole bunch of cats, like a litter of cats or just a bunch of cats, whatever the item is that you choose for few and many. Just giving you an example. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So what we have for number 17, which is few. Let me find the right stuff here. I have a pile of stuff. I have 2 cats. I said cats, and then I just couldn't get that out of my head. So I went with cats. Few cats, and then for many, I have many cats. So we're going to use these. I don't even know what these are. They were gifted to me, some type of ledger book pieces. So we're going to use those, and then we're going to make like just scrap pads, you know, like pads of scraps. All right, so let's start with few. We have our mama cat here, and I think what I'm going to do, because these are pretty thin, is obviously I'm going to attach the image and some other things, and then I might have to cover the back. I don't really want to do that, but I don't want it to like tear and stuff. So I don't know. Let's just play. I don't know what I'm doing today. Today's one of those days. Sometimes I can get it all together and figured out, and other times it's like until I can actually, you know, tear things up to the size and do all that, I can't seem to visualize it really great until then. So actually I think I'm going to just kind of rough tear this. Okay. So we have these. And what I thought might work good is to fold this, because obviously in what journal would this ever go, right? It would probably have to go in a standard size journal rather than say like ledger style or document style or whatever in the world you want to call that style. The long skinny style. Yeah, so, but it'll need to be folded to fit into a pocket or something. So what size, what width is this anyway? This piece of paper is 5. So yeah, that's really kind of pushing it. I almost think I'm going to have to take a little bit off the bottom. I don't really want to do that, but I just know if it doesn't fit into a journal, it's kind of a pointless piece, right? So that's what we'll do. Just take a little bit more of the straw away. Hopefully we can get the other one this small too. Okay, so I think that will work. So how y'all doing? I hope you're doing wonderful. I'm having a good day. Just ran my errands. It is bitter cold, but the sun is shining, so yay. That makes me happy when the sun is coming into my room. So I'm happy about that. Don't have a lot of plans this weekend. Unfortunately, we have to go to a funeral, which I don't like doing. Nobody likes doing. Anyhow, Yeah, it's sad. It's not somebody like really close to us or a family member or anything like that, but it's a friend from the neighborhood that my husband grew up in. It's her father. So she grew up in the same neighborhood as my husband. And, you know, my husband obviously knew her dad and all that. So we're going to go to that, which is always sad. I did not. I mean, I think I probably met him once because I did. Since my husband and I have been together forever, I did come and visit because, like I told you guys in my little questions answered thing, my husband's family owned a candy store in the tourist town where I grew up, and so sometimes, you know, well, not sometimes, but every summer he would come and work for his dad there. But he lived with his mom in Idaho. And so we would come back and, you know, visit Idaho and all Sean's friends and whatnot. So I did meet all his friends and some of their parents and stuff. So, yeah. And I know that I met her mom, but I'm not positive about her dad. I mean, once we were all married and all that, you know, we didn't see all of his friends because a lot of them moved to other states and whatnot, so. But anyways, I'm going to hang that off and then I'll just trim it. I want to see it a little bit. I'm just adding some scraps. It's just going to help strengthen this piece of ledger, and I know I'm covering a lot of it. Oh, and I got asked in a comment about the envelope that I did that was all kind of like stained with the Tim Holtz stains and all that. Why I didn't just leave it the way it was and why did I cover it. And I think that's just a personal thing. Like, you could totally just spray those with the Tim Holtz sprays and, you know, put it in your journal like that. That's totally fine. It's just, I personally like to put other things on them, and that's just my own art style, you know. But I guess that's the awesome thing, because if we all did it the same, it would be real boring. But, yeah, so that's just the way I like it. But that doesn't mean you have to do it that way. You can totally leave it with just the stains and put it in your journal. That's fine. There's really no right and wrong with junk journaling, luckily. And really most art. I mean, you just do what is pleasing to your eye and what you like. And that's all I can really say about it. I don't know. I'm going to glue this around this side just because I think it'll help strengthen this paper just a touch right there. But yeah, it's totally personal preference. So you just do it the way you like it. But there's like no particular good reason or anything like that. It's just, that's how I do it. But anyways, so yeah, I am going to cover up a lot of this, but a lot of that is just because, like I said, if I have it going in and out of a pocket, I don't really want it to get all ripped up, you know. So that's why I'm doing it this way. But you don't have to. You do you, boo. I might, I just inked that, I know. But I think I might turn this up just as a decorative bit, because I don't want it covering all my scraps that I put on here entirely, because I'm kind of thinking they would be like things you could, and this will help strengthen this too, things you could use in a journal or whatever, you know what I mean? and I'm just winging this. I mean, lots of people have done these kind of scrap pile sort of things, so this isn't anything new. Actually, this has had a tea bag on it. Crazy is that? When I dyed it. So yeah, don't have any real tales to tell today. Just been working. Can't pick those up. So then basically all we're going to do is just tear scraps, bits that I have and put them into a pile and staple them or whatever to that. This is the really old Sears and Roebuck that actually I think it's newer than the other one, but it's just real disintegrating. Somebody liked that watch, they marked it. Let's see, we'll put these in here. And I'm going to trim them a little more because they're going to hang out. Yeah, that side's really cool too, huh? Well, I'll put it on there like that, and then whoever ends up with it can choose to use the pieces how they like. And I have some papers I splattered. Just regular copy paper with black acrylic paint splatters. Oh, sorry, I keep hitting that light bulb. And we'll do both of these a little bit different. I'll turn it this way so you can see. That. See, this is the other one I have. I'm going to save that only because I have the other one to do, and I don't have another piece like this, so I'll use that other bit in there. I like stuff like this too. That's just, I don't know, random little bits. Oops, this is super fragile. I think part of why some papers end up being so fragile, I think I'm just going to fold this one, is like smoke or something in the house, like cigarette smoke or something. Because it seems like those books, because I have an old cookbook, and it's old, but it's not like, oh my gosh, so old, but its pages are very much like this. And then you have other ones, like you find other books or whatever, or even older, but they're not as yellowed. So I think that has a lot to do with that. That's upside down. I just realized. Let's just flip this around. I don't think the other ones are that big of a deal, but kind of want that going the right way. Right, I think that is good. So then we'll staple that, and that'll be a nice little piece of ephemera to go in a pocket somewhere. Let's put it down here, and then we can do 3 staples. And I probably should have done the other side, but it's all right. Make sure they're all in there. Yep. All right, so there is few, and then we'll do many. And it's going to be real exciting because it's going to be the same thing over again, basically. Maybe it'll be a little faster, though, since I already did one. The big problem is tearing this down, because we're going to have to tear off the bottom, like we did with the other one. And then we'll fold. Let me see. I want them to be, you know, roughly the same size. Not that it matters, because they probably aren't going to end up in the same journal, but... So any little ledgery type paper you have, and if you don't have any, just use a piece of, you know, regular paper. You don't have to have this kind of paper. It just, I had it, so I decided to use it. So now we got to get our mini cats on here, which is probably going to be a problem. We might have to tear some of them a little bit. Because there's so many. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm a goofball. Okay, we won't have to tear much. He might just lose the little tip of his tail. But that's okay. It's not so much. So obviously these are out of children's books that I have. Oh, this one's going to lose a little bit of his tail too. Sorry, dude. Sorry, little dude. Still too big. I'm going to kind of do this just because I want some of that paper to show back there. Sorry, Mama Cat. Gotcha a little bit. That's the problem with having many, right? I'm gonna take your bum a little bit there, dude. Still too tall. This poor little guy down here, he's just gonna lose. All right, fits now. And there are many of them on there. Yay. What else do we want to put on with that? Don't know. First page is real old. Okay, these I think these little bits I'll put mostly under just because we got so many little cats hanging over the edge there. I have this random bit. Let's see. Will work. I like that with the black and white cats. Yeah, just a fun little piece of ephemera to put in a pocket. Oh, I was so happy. Yesterday on Instagram, I noticed that somebody posted that there was a little boy in Florida missing, 2-year-old. Oh my gosh. I was just, oh, that is just horrifying. And so, I just saw before I came on here that they found him, so thank goodness. Oh my word. It's just awful. Terrifying. Worst fears, you know. So I'm glad he seems to be okay. I saw the TV report and all that where they showed him with the gentleman carrying him out of the woods and all that. So he appears to be good. So hopefully he is all good. That was one thing that was really hard. I remember when my kids were little, especially when I was pregnant with my son, my daughter figured out how to open our sliding glass door. So we had to have locks put in that up high because she could figure out how to open them. She just wanted to go out to her swing set, you know, like sometimes if I'd take a nap in the afternoon or something, but I would, you know, be right there in the room with her, but you know how it is when they're little. But anyways, she would want to go outside to the swing set, so we put in a lock because she figured out how to do that. But they can just get away pretty quick sometimes. So hopefully they will put in some kind of lock at their house or whatever so that he can't do that again. It's terrifying. Sorry, I keep seeing. I'm like, oh, I need to do that. Oh, I need to do that. Okay, so now we'll make our little paper pad again. Let's see, do I have this avocado die? This was gifted to me by my friend Denise at Wonderbar Crafts, and I don't know if she has any in her Etsy shop or not, but I know there's a lot of people on Etsy and whatnot that sell what do you call it? Avocado dye paper. So I'm sure you can find it somewhere. It's a big process. You have to like boil the pit and the skins of the avocado. Like you reduce it down, boil it down, and then I don't know what all you do, but anyway, to make the dye. I've never made it myself, so I really don't know. I'm probably not the person to ask on that, but I have, or I know there's lots of videos, and in fact, Denise has a YouTube channel too, Wonderbar Crafts, and I'll try to remember to put it in the description box. She has a video on how to do avocado dye. So here's some flies for fly fishing. We're just having all kinds of randomness here. Yeah, so I've never done it myself. It seems like a way too much of a process for me to be into. I'm very fickle that way. But yeah, I love it. It is beautiful. I don't use a ton of pink either, so it's not necessarily something I would do on my own. I'm going to turn this way simply because there's more of those than this round one. So, and these are just stamped Tim Holtz stamps on old paper, vintage paper. I love this. Got itty bitty little, it's composition notebook paper, but look at the holes, the spiral holes. Very thin. Okay, I think that one's good. And I don't have any itty bitty pieces, but I will staple this in to make sure I get these in here. So see, then, so I'm going to do it this way. So then someone could use this in a journal and tear bits off and put them wherever they want. Or, you know, you could write on the backs of them, or, well, like that's book page. But, I don't know, you can use them to decorate, whatever you want in a journal. So there we have it. We have few and many. So 17 was few, 18 was many. And you can interpret that however you want. You don't have to use cats. I just figured they're natural. Them and rabbits, right? All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. And we'll chat again soon. Love you guys. Talk later. Bye.